how to buy your next DFW home before your home sells. You found the house, right school district, right backyard, right floor plan, everything you've been looking for, and you know it the second you walk in. And then your agent says, we should probably wait until your current home sells first. Here's the problem with that. In DFW, that house you love, it might have an offer by the weekend. And the person you're competing against doesn't have a home to sell. They're ready to move fast. And on paper, they look a lot cleaner to a seller than you do. So what do? A lot of people are searching on how to buy before they sell their home in DFW and not finding a straight answer. So today, I'm going to give you one. Let's talk about the traditional approach first, because I want you to understand why it creates a problem and not just that it does. When you make an offer on a home and you still own your current one, most offers are written with what's called a home sale contingency. That basically means your purchase depends on your current home selling first. If it doesn't sell, the deal falls apart. Now, put yourself in the seller's shoes for a second. You have two offers in front of you. One is clean, no contingencies, ready to close. The other is higher, but it's a contingency on another home selling first. That seller has no control over whether your home sells and how quickly it sells, or whether something goes sideways in the transaction. In a lot of markets, sellers might work with that. But in DFW, where well-priced homes in desirable areas are still moving quickly, sellers have options. And a contingent offer, even at a strong price, carries real risk from their perspective. Many sellers will pass on it entirely, or counter in a way that protects them so aggressively that the deal stops making sense for you. And that's the trap. You're not doing anything wrong. You just have equity tied up in a home that you haven't sold yet. But in a competitive market, that equity is actually working against you when it comes to making a clean offer. So how do you unlock it? There are two main program types worth understanding here: bridge programs and a flex program. They're related, but they serve different situations. A bridge program is essentially a short-term financing that lets you borrow against the equity in your current home before you sell it. The idea is that the bridge the gap between your two transactions. You use those funds against your down payment or purchase price on the new home, close on your new home first, and then you sell your current home, ideally without the pressure of needing it to sell in a specific window. Here's a simple way to think about it. Say your current home is worth around $500,000 and you have roughly $300,000 in equity. A bridge program may allow you to access a portion of that equity to use towards your next purchase while your current home is still on the market. The key thing is that you're not waiting on a buyer to make your move. You're moving on your timeline. Now, the flex program works a little bit differently, and the distinction matters depending on where you are financially. Depending on the program, this can help buyers who might not qualify for a traditional bridge home, either because of income documentation, how their debt to income ratio would look carrying two mortgages, or other qualifying factors. With the flex program, the structure is often designed so that you're not technically carrying both mortgages simultaneously in the traditional sense, which can make a real difference when it comes to what you qualify for. Both programs have costs. There are fees involved, and those vary depending on the provider, the loan amount, and the terms. What I'd encourage you to think about is not just the cost of using the program, but the cost of not using it. Waiting for a perfect contingency-free situation while the market moves around you has a real price too. The third option I want to talk to you about is the one that a lot of people don't know exists, and it might be the most powerful one in certain situations. There are institutional programs where companies will come in, make a cash offer on your current home, and hold it while you go purchase your next one. Once you have closed on your new home, you then sell your current home in the open market, and if it sells more than what the institutional offer was, you typically capture the upside. What this does for you as a buyer is significant. It effectively removes your home sale contingency entirely. You are no longer a contingent buyer. You walk into a negotiation looking like a cash-backed, non-contingent offer because structurally, that's what you are. This is something Regal works with directly. We have relationships with programs that allow us to take a buyer who has equity in their current home and reposition them in a competitive, non-contingent buyer in the market. That changes the conversation with sellers completely. Now I want to be straightforward here. These programs do come with fees and costs that you may need to understand fully before you commit. There's no version of this that's completely free. But what we always do with our clients is walk through the full cost picture, what the program costs, what carrying 2 mortgages for a period of time might look like, and what the realistic outcome is for you trying to navigate without any of these tools. Sometimes the math makes it really clear. Sometimes it's closer, but you can't make a good decision without seeing the whole picture and exactly what we will do to help map it out. Here's the bottom line. If you have equity in your current home and a move you're trying to make, whether it's upsizing, relocating within DFW, or just finally getting into the right neighborhood, you're not stuck waiting. There are real structured programs designed for exactly your situation. What matters is figuring out which one fits you. Bridge, flex, institutional cash, they're not a one-size-fits-all. Your equity position, your income situation, your timeline, and the specific market you're buying into all factor in. That's why we offer a free consultation. It's a real conversation, not a sales pitch. Well, we look at your current home, your current target price range, and your timeline, and we'll map out which approach actually makes sense for you. And we'll show you the full cost picture before you commit to anything. The link to book that consult is in the description below. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for a clean situation to buy your next home, this conversation might change how you think about what's actually possible. Thanks for watching, and if this was helpful, share it with someone who's been going back and forth on this exact thing. There's a lot of people in the DFW right now that don't know these options exist.